So in this lesson, we'll be doing adding CSS to this basic HTML web page that we made using Atom, which is a basic text editor. So let's go ahead. One of the first things that you would do with CSS is add in a link to the CSS worksheet or the style sheet. And we do that in the head section of the HTML. So let's go into the head section here. Actually, no, let's do this first. File, new file, and then we'll do a file save as. So you can do a Shift Command S on your keyboard if you have a Mac, or Shift Control S, I believe, on a PC. And then let's make a new folder right in our root folder named CSS, all lowercase, CSS. And then inside of here, we'll make this file name style, style.css, no uppercases, and then we'll save that. And then now we'll go back into the index.html and we'll go underneath in the head section under the title. We'll push return and then we'll start typing in link and then we'll click on that. And then, you know, rel, so it's telling the browser this is the style sheet. And then we just need to change this href to be /css/style.css. So that means / means inside of the root folder that it's in, inside of the CSS folder, looking for the file styles.css, which will be this style sheet. So this is a link to our style sheet. The style sheet will style or make all of the HTML elements prettier, those kinds of things. So let's see here. Let's add in type, because it didn't do that. Text.css, and then we'll do a Command S just to save that. So let's test this and make sure that our style sheet is actually set up correctly and is actually hooked up. So we'll go into the CSS document, style.css, and let's start with a p tag. So we're just going to do a p tag. Oops, that's not how you do it here. We go like this, and then we make a curly bracket, we push return, and then let's make, this will actually select all of the P's in the HTML. So let's make this color, and then let's just make yellow. And make sure to put a semicolon on the back of that. Command S that. And then let's go into here, do file, open file, navigate to our CS. Actually, no, we don't need to navigate there. We can just do index. And our p tag is the few p tags that we do have on our yellow now. So we do know that our CSS document is correctly hooked up. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and change the background color of the paragraphs to blue. So start typing in background color, and then blue. Oops, semicolon, not regular. Command S that. Go back in here, and oops, so you can see all of our PE tags now have a black background color, which is pretty neat. Let's go back into Atom. And let's start adding in some IDs and classes to our HTML so that we can call those out in our CSS later. So let's add an ID to the section tags we put in earlier. So IDs are good for calling out specific elements in the HTML. So let's put the first section here. Let's see, here's the first one within the main, and let's put an ID of, let's make this one doggy. And then for the second section, we can ID this one because we want to call this one out separate from the other one and make it kitty. I don't know, pretty basic stuff here, but, and now let's experiment with the styling the ID tags in the CSS. So let's go into the CSS and go here. So if you want to call out an ID, you have to use the pound sign and then the name of the ID. So doggy, enter that, use your curly bracket, push enter. And no space in between here, just all one word. And then make the background color red, semicolon, Command S, and then let's go into Chrome. And so that made our whole section, the background of our whole first section, red. Okay, let's go back into Atom. And let's go and change the color of the other. Actually, let's try to find the P within the doggy section, which would be this one here. So if I really want to, I can go doggy P and find it. So we can go kind of deep with this. If that makes any sense. We doggy P, curly bracket, enter, and then background color. Actually, let's not make it background color. Let's just make it color and then green. Semicolon, Command S that to save it. Go into Chrome and let's see if we actually did get that. So it did turn green. So just in this section, it didn't get the other, they're still yellow. So that's kind of how you target specific elements within specific ID sections, basically, or classes, or these IDs, not classes, but okay. So let's just see if we can get, let's add in another style sheet, actually. You can actually add in as many style sheets as you want, but I would suggest, for the most part, sticking to one. Definitely for the thing that we're going to be doing, we're just going to do one. But I just want to show you that you can set up more than one. So, let's type in normalize.css. I might have spelled it wrong. And then we can go to this one here. I think it's on GitHub. Let's click on that if it will take me there. Okay, click on that. And then this is just a bunch of text, but if we do a Command A to select all and then Command C to copy that, let's go ahead and go into Atom, create a new file. So File, New File, Command V that in there. Save as, and then we'll put it in the CSS folder, and then we'll name it normalize.css, all lowercase. Make sure you spell it right, or if you spell it wrong, make sure you can spell it wrong again, because you're going to need to if you want to hook this up in the style sheet of your HTML document. So push save, and then okay, so we can go up to the top here on our HTML. Let's just copy this whole link to our first style sheet, do a return, do a Command V to paste it, and then just change this to normalize. Make sure you spell it the way that you spelled it in here. So Command S that. And then if we go in here and refresh, and if it looks a little bit different, which it will, I mean, it added a little bit of padding to this, and small things. Normalize just makes browsers render all elements more consistently and in line with modern standards, and it precisely targets only the styles that need normalizing. So you can use this if you want. Not a big deal. I just wanted to show you that it's possible to hook up multiple style sheets to an HTML document and how you go about doing that. It's mostly just affecting the spacing on the document. So let's style our navigation now. Let's put a nav in the style sheet and make the background color purple. So we'll do that in Atom, go into our, let's just close out and normalize because we're not going to make any more changes to that. So let's go after P and go nav, and then curly brackets, enter. Okay, and I also want to show you something else. Instead of just typing in purple, we're going to actually go to HTML color codes.com. And this actually has a color picker where you can find colors that you want. So maybe I want kind of almost a pink purple. So I can use the slider here, get like the most intense version of the color here, darker colors, more gray, more white. But I want kind of maybe a little bit darker purple. And then this is the hex value right here. It's also right here. But the hex value is really what we should be using for colors. So try to remember that when you make your website, is if you want to change the colors, use hex values and not just red, green, blue, navy, teal, those kinds of things. Actually use the hex color, and it's really easy to do if you just go to one of these. HTML color code is a really good one, and just, you know, pick around, find the color you want, and then copy the hex code, bring that back into your style.css, and then use the hex code. So let's go ahead and make the background color on the nav this purple color, and then use your semicolon, Command S that, and then let's go into Chrome, and you can see now it's purple. So it has padding above and below it, which is just spacing, or it might be a margin too, I'm not totally sure, but anyway, we're going to make this text white so we can actually see it. So let's go into Atom. To make the text white, let's grab the hex value of white from HTML color codes. I believe it's FFFFFFF 6 times, and then go to Atom, and then let's see here. So let's make the color, I think this will make the text white. And then if we go here and refresh, it only made the bullets white. So if we actually want to change the nav link text, we need to focus on that list item and the in the list item basically. So let's go back into style.css and cut out the line of code that we would just put there and put nav li a to target that. So we're going to cut this out and do nav lia and then paste that in. Do Command S and then go back and let's see if that works any better. So that actually worked. And that actually targeted the link. So we went pretty deep in there with the call outs that we're doing. We're doing nav, we're going to the list item and to the anchor within the nav to color that white. Okay, so let's center our text now in our navigation. So let's add in text align center to the nav in the style sheet. So text align center, Command S, go here, refresh. So that took it to the center. These bullets are still there, but we can fix that. So we need to target the list itself. So let's type in some new selectors into our style sheet. So let's do nav ul. That's how you get rid of the bullets. And list style none. Command S that to save it. And then they're gone. So that's how you have to get rid of that in the those bullets in the nav. List style none on the nav ul. So now we want to get rid of the underlines in the navigation. So let's do